Hi Rika, hi everybody. My name is Violet, and I'm going to be talking about the case study of Annette and Natasha, which is case study number B. I felt that this is very fitting to me to talk about this situation because currently I'm mentoring a lady by the name of Megan, and she's a colored woman, and I am a black African woman. So I really needed to dig deep, dig deep into this situation and see how I can use this knowledge to advance my mentorship with Megan, and also how we can um, align our cultural barriers. So, in the situation of Natasha in the case study, I've actually realized that Natasha is having or comes from a very different background as what Annette is coming from. And this, I realized that the whole story is really about Natasha not really adjusting to what Annette is suggesting in terms of the change of diets and how that can influence her health as a person. So, in this scenario, I have picked up that even though Natasha has a conscious mind that eating healthy food, what she calls white people's food, will help her improve her health, it is actually also coming through that in her subconscious mind, she had already some truths, some hidden truths from her past experience of the food that she shared maybe with her parents. And basically, that's what she appreciated and that's what she felt is the right way of eating. And that was unfortunately only the only food that she was exposed to growing up. And she probably feels strong that if I never felt sick while eating this unhealthy food that you're saying is unhealthy, why will I get sick now? And why must that be true to me? So probably she had all these negative thoughts or beliefs that all the other foods are expensive and it's unnecessary. And also she then blocked all the information, she blocked all the information that contradicts that, or in terms of food. And that's why you would see that in her decision, she would say that she's not going to switch to these new foods that are being suggested. She's going to stick to what she knows and what she has grown up with. So, as a mentor, this is a very difficult situation because, as we can see in the scenario, we saw that even though Natasha is advised that what she's eating is causing her current health situation or health condition, she is just not listening and she's sticking on to eating the food that she knows and that is unhealthy for her. And that is actually causing a lot of disturbances in her daily life, in her schedule, in her way of thinking, maybe as well, because now she's not a healthy person anymore. So, as a mentor, I think that I need to be very patient with situations such as this. I need to I need to know that, or I need to understand that this is a new territory for Natasha, and she's not exposed to as many food types and as many beneficial effects of those food in her body at this time. And that me forcing this on top of her knowledge, or what she already has, is going to it's going to be blocked somewhere. So I think this is also what we spoke about, that we all have blind spots. We all have um, all these things that we can't see because we've been in a same way of thinking for a long time. So according to that information, as a mentor, I feel that it is my responsibility not to quickly want to change how Natasha eats, how Natasha feels about the food that I'm introducing to her. And even though I've been mentoring her for a long time, I still need to understand that there is a lot that needs to be changed in the subconscious mind, and that is what we need to work on step by step. So we have sort of give a whole analysis of what the situation is. Natasha eats unhealthy, she falls sick, and then she doesn't perform. She's not productive at all. So what I've decided to do is, as a mentor, I've decided that I should be able to recognize the value. I mean, to recognize and value the cultural perspectives that Natasha brings to this mentoring conversation. If I don't do that, if I don't recognize the value, recognize and value these cultural differences, it means that I'm not being empathetic. And then she would think that, why must she listen to me, to my advice, if I'm not listening to her, or if I'm not understanding where she comes from? So that's why I decided that I'm going to empathize with her regarding this conversation, and also try to find ways of interpreting the events that happened in her past, which is now stored in her subconscious mind. Try to be in her picture, and also maybe be use practical cultural empathy, which is where I try to sit down and ask myself, if I was born in Natasha's family, how would I have felt? How would I have reacted to certain things? So it's a matter of putting myself in her shoes before I try to change the picture that is already sort of imprinted in her mind. So basically, that's where I would start, and that's how I would try to slowly um, put myself in a situation, understand where she's coming from, and also try to see what their culture appreciates. So so I needed to actually create opportunities to view these issues in her lenses, and to say, why is it that Natasha doesn't know that kiwis and cucumbers and all this food are beneficial for our health, and they are good for our system? So why doesn't she understand this? So rather than me judging her and saying that she is a bit ignorant to these things, I should say, look, where was Natasha raised? How was she raised in her homestead? What kind of food did they enjoy? And how did that food make them feel? And so, by me learning all these different culture cuisines that Natasha enjoys, she will start to also slowly appreciate what I enjoy, which is the healthy food, which is a change in the diet that leads to a healthy lifestyle. So I really, really think that Natasha will change if I also change the way I view her, and the way I view how she is reacting or responding to the situation. Um, the other step that I also wanted to change is, um, I think this is also a time for me to deeply make sense of the situation that Natasha is going through, to deeply go into her background, to deeply go into the space that created the person that she is today. And that will help me to understand certain things before I start to teach, before I start to introduce things like new ways of eating that could lead to a lean body and a healthier Natasha. Before I start to take out articles from the internet that also tell her or give her a picture of the diseases that certain foods can cause in our body, the junk food that we eat, all this fatty stuff that we pump into our bodies, what that does to the body. If after I actually share her life, I could actually introduce these things slowly, one step at a time, without trying to let her leave her past life completely, but doing it stepwise. So I would also then take out real life scenarios where I tell her of people who've actually maybe had diabetes because of the foods that they ate, and other different things like high cholesterols that are caused by the sugars and all these things that we eat. So I would also try to incorporate that later into our conversation after I understand what it is that she is imagining to be her truth, and she then probably perceive this to be what is really the reality, and that could actually be constraining her to see or to perceive life in a different light, and also to see that how this truth that she's been holding on for so long has been undermining her reality, and has been clouding all the things that she's supposed to be putting into her mind now, and obviously this is affecting her decision, which is then affecting her entire health and is threatening her life. So that's what I'm going to do as a mentor. And I believe that Natasha will change over time. I have all the patience in the world to walk the journey with her and to assist her wherever she needs assistance. That's how I'm going to do this as a mentor. And I trust Natasha. And I believe that what she's doing is because of where she had grown up and what she was exposed to. So in all this, all in all, I say that Natasha has a belief that eating healthy will benefit her and will make her a healthier person. But then she also has a subconscious belief that is based on her experiences around her homestead and her family and her cuisines as a colored woman who believes in, certain foods, and you get this type of food at the tani next door. And so it's all about cultural differences, and our food is our pride. So I think Natasha is stuck into that, and in order for her and so this loops goes back to where she's now making an evaluation and saying, look, how is this going to benefit me? And she says, no, the decision is it's not going to benefit me, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to change my diet. Yeah, so in order for me to change her thoughts and her thinking and everything, I need to place myself in her shoes. I need to go back to that place where she was cooking all these colored foods and understanding that, and then later introduce what I feel is the healthier method. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I hope that shed some light on the mind model, the model of the mind, and also that I have described everything that needs to be described about Natasha, who was my mentee in this scenario. Thank you. Bye.